Bubblegum, bubblegum in a dish. How many bubblegum do you wish?
Last month, we had a public hearing on the proposed tax increases. We want to have a second public hearing tonight, so we're going to go ahead and open up the public hearing. What I would ask is that those who are here that maybe spoke last month, let's give priority to those who haven't been able to address the council yet. It seems like we may have a large number of people here, but we also have a fairly packed agenda, so I want to try to get through and hear from as many people as we can. What I'll ask is that if somebody would like to speak, they can approach the podium. You say your name and address, and then try to limit your comments to about 3 minutes. Again, we want to hear from you. We also need to make sure that everybody gets a turn to speak. So with that being said, we'll go ahead. Is there anyone here that would like to speak on the public safety lit increase?
You just asking, or can we come up?
Yeah, come on up. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is Gaskill. I live at 120 East Michelle Lane in Pendleton, Indiana. I'm speaking to you as a private tax-paying citizen, but as one with a perspective of 23 years of law enforcement service in the community. Been here, I'm 54, and with the exception of a little over a decade of trotting the globe in a tree suit, I've spent all my life here. Had the advantage of growing up with a loving father in my home that demonstrated some of that love by setting boundaries on my behavior, and showed me love by providing consequences when I violated those boundaries, sometimes painfully so. And from my perspective, one of the problems in the community is with the jail is revolving door now. It's referred to as a revolving door. And I'm sure that the sheriff and the judges and prosecutors in this county can speak far more eloquently than I can on the issue and what has caused it. But I know those people personally, some of them, and I know them to be dedicated professionals. I know them to take seriously their duty both to protect the rights of the individual, constitutionally guaranteed, as well as provide some level of protection to the community they serve. And so I can't think that it could be from some negligence on their part. There must be other issues. One of them that I see is a lack of capacity. I believe that they're forced to make choices between who gets to stay detained in their own custody and who has to go, and that's probably very difficult to do. So, I'm speaking here on behalf of money that can be used to build a better and bigger facility. Although I'm a police officer, I also believe, the people that are in there are, some are simply accused of a crime, some have been convicted. We have a legal obligation, and I think also a moral obligation, to provide those individuals with a safe and secure environment. And I don't believe that we have that ability right now in the state of deterioration. Although I have 23 years service, I'm not a spokesperson for the Anderson Police Department, nor the city of Anderson. But I do have a perspective with my experience there. And another issue I see is our inability to retain officers. Especially in the last several years, a lot of guys come here, get some experience, and go down the road to places that can provide them with a better income and maybe some better resources. Last night, the FOP body, the persons that belong to the FOP that work for the Anderson Police Department, passed probably one of the best contracts I've had. I think the best contract I've had. And so the city has shown us that they appreciate our service and that they're willing to try to make some efforts to retain people here and provide us with those resources. I'm sure it was a struggle for them to find money to do that. But they showed it to us, and that's another reason why I would ask you or tell you that I'm in favor of this. I'm sure that other agencies in the community have the same trouble with retaining guys, and so those are some of the reasons I'm going to bring to your attention this evening.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Gaskill. Yes, sir. For your service, sir. Yes, sir. And maybe some better resources. Last night, the FOP body, the persons that belong to the FOP that work for the Anderson Police Department, passed probably one of the best contracts I've had. I think the best contract I've had. And so the city has shown us that they appreciate our service and that they're willing to try to make some efforts to retain people here and provide us with those resources. I'm sure it was a struggle for them to find money to do that, but they showed it to us, and that's another reason why I would ask you or tell you that I'm in favor of this. I'm sure that other agencies in the community have the same trouble with retaining guys, and so those are some of the reasons I'm going to bring to your attention this evening.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Gaskill.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for your service, sir.
Yes, sir.